Sunday. It is Sunday. I'm your girl, Misschampagneb. We're back with our new episode of Steady Mixin. I know you guys keep asking about it. I have an awesome bartender for you guys tonight. I know you guys have been missing the bartenders, and I'm so sorry. I failed you guys all. Feel free to follow me because I failed you. But I have an awesome bartender tonight. I'm going to bring him in. So join, tell your friends, tell everybody. We're about to get this started, okay? Hi!
Hi, everyone.
Hey, you guys. If this is your first time, this is Steady Mixin. Thank you so much for watching. This is Misschampagneb. I'm here with an amazing bartender, one of my favorite Columbus bartenders, V.
Hi, I'm V.
Hi, V. How are you doing today?
I'm chilling. It's rainy today. I don't like it.
I know, man. You don't have to work today?
Nope. Sundays, yeah, I'm off.
So when days do you work? What days?
Wednesday through Saturday for sure.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 4 days a week.
Mm-hmm. But then I also, I'm the head bartender here at Hubbard Bar and Grille. So I also come in for other things like prep work, stocking, things like that. So.
Okay. And I want to let you go. Guys know V has made me 2 drinks, so I'm already tipsy, but let's keep going.
Sunday fun day.
So V, you're a bartender. How long have you been bartending?
4 or 5 years on and off. Yep, I've had some breaks, but in collective around 4 years.
Oh, we're going to get into those breaks. So we just started. So you're not from Columbus. Where are you from originally?
So I grew up in Marion, Ohio. I spent most of my adult life in Cleveland, most of my 20s.
Okay.
And then I relocated to Columbus after I graduated college and ended up staying there.
So you graduated college. What did you get your degree in?
I got a degree in linguistics and French. I speak French.
Oh, so when I say mon frère, you know,
Yeah.
what does that
Je
mean?
comprends très bien, en fait, ouais.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, my phone's in French.
Really?
Yeah, my phone's in French. So like, if I use like GPS or Siri, it's all in French.
Why French?
Because I was always fascinated by French and France.
Okay.
Also, my mom, when she was young, and I had an uncle that worked in for a Lao embassy in France.
Okay.
And my mom also spoke French and Russian. She went to college in Russia.
Wow.
And just French culture and French language, they just make so much sense and so much fascination.
So no bartending so far in any of those things that you're telling me about?
No.
Okay, we're going to get to it. We're going to go through the life of V.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Feels good, right? So you're in college, linguistics. What did you want to do with your degree?
So I was trying to go and then come back and get my master's and maybe get into like speech pathology or one of the big other fields was computational linguistics. I thought about that. Now what happened was I was supposed to go to France to teach English after I graduated from Cleveland State.
Oh, okay.
But that program fell through, so here I was. I was bartending at that time. So my tail end of my college career, I was bartending. But it was so my first bar was more of a Puerto Rican sports bar / club, Benny's Sports Bar in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
I love them, and they're still my family. But yeah, that was my first bar, and but at the time, so I was graduating college, and I couldn't, lease was ending, my roommates were leaving, program fell through.
Life just falling apart.
Yeah, so then I was like, what am I gonna do now? And my cousin Chinda, she was like, come move with me and figure out your next move. So and then I ended up staying in Columbus.
Okay.
But yeah.
So what age did you start bartending?
I was 26.
How old are you now?
32.
Damn, you're old.
Hey, hold up. I feel old sometimes.
I'm not gonna tell you my age.
The knees aren't the same as they used to be.
Oh, you're making stallion knees. I know. Well, 32. You're still a baby.
Yeah.
I remember then. 32.
Asians don't raise it. I'm gonna look like this till I'm 50. I'm gonna look till I'm 50. But see, what happens is once I hit 50, all of a sudden I look like Mr. Miyagi.
Oh.
And I have my dad. My dad was a strapping young lad.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he hit 50. I'm like, hey, what happened, Pops? What happened, man? So yeah, I'm gonna look 24 till I'm 50.
That's fair. Black people.
Black don't crack. Asians don't raise them.
And don't crack. Just don't do crack. You'll be okay. Alright. So we're 26. What made you start being a bartender?
So I think I'll start with throughout my entire adult life, my 20s, I was always fascinated by alcohol.
Yep.
So younger V was like, I was super into craft beer, and plus this is more like when craft beer was starting to get more popular than it is. Now it's like there's a new brewery popping up every day. But you know, my whole 20s, 2012, 13, like, I was into craft beer, and I would nerd about it. I would do research, and I was just fascinated, you know. I like to consider myself like an alcohol nerd, like a Star Wars nerd, but with alcohol.
Yes.
So then later, I got into wine, and just, you know, I dated a person she was into wine, so also, when I came to Columbus, I got into fine dining, so I got even more into wine. I did some wine classes and training.
Became a little bougie.
So then, yeah, some craft beer, wine, also Scotch. I was very big into Scotch, still very into Scotch. So yeah, throughout my 20s, yeah, I love Scotch. Yeah, I can talk about Scotch all day too. But, so really it was just constant fascination, and then one day realizing, well, this is all I talk about anyways, I might as well get paid for it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So it was kind of like that. And that first bar I worked at, Benny's, like I mentioned, that was more of a club, but still that helped me realize how fascinating and challenging, but yet fun bartending can be. Because, you know, club bartending, you have like 100 people wanting drinks. Now this is not a cocktail place, so it's just like, you know, Coronas and Hennessy, and, you know. But I would get all the orders, and that's why my volume as a bartender is so great, because of Benny's.
Okay.
Because I would have 100 orders in my head, and I'd knock them all out, and then charge them all money. Yeah. So
you had that. You were able to do the speed.
Yep.
And also the cocktail.
Yeah. Now that place again, it was like tequila, sunrise.
So it was like
sex
swinging
on the
shots.
beach. Yeah.
Easy
But yeah.
shit.
Easier. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after Benny's, where did you go?
So then, yeah, moved to Columbus, and then I helped open up the Keep. I helped open the Keep in downtown. It's the Levesque Tower. That's where I got fine dining.
Is it still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay.
I haven't been there in years. I don't know how they're doing, but yeah, I helped open that up. And so during that, it was really cool because I got extensive training on food, wine. Now, I was a server there. I didn't bartend there.
Okay.
And I got fine dining experience through that.
Okay.
As well as I also jumped around a lot. I was at the Marriott Hotel for a second there.
Nice.
So yeah, banquet bartending, I've done that, hotel bartending, but yeah. And then I took a completely side rail.
Okay, what's the side rail?
You would never guess.
Stripper.
No.
Oh, okay.
Male strippers don't make that much money.
What?
That's what I hear.
I would pay a male stripper.
I've met some male strippers. I heard how much they make. That's not that much.
Really? I mean, is it like a 6 fig?
I mean, I would do it if there was money. Don't get me wrong.
Okay. Were you a teacher?
I was a mortician.
I would have never guessed. Wait, how the fuck do you get to mortician from bartending?
It was so it didn't work out at the Keep, basically. Long story short. And I needed to make money. And a buddy of mine, a Marine buddy, was like, "Hey man, my family's in the funeral industry. You want to just?" It was just a side gig. And then actually, I was going to do it as a career after some time.
Really?
Yeah, I got accepted by the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Sciences. Accepted by the Ohio Board of Funeral Directors.
I
was
know
really
your
going to do it.
personality. I don't see you as a mortician.
It turned into like, I was also in a bad relationship, and I don't know, it was just kind of going through the motions. I don't know, it was a weird phase of my life. But I did that, and I was going to do it, but I found out there's no money.
Really? I thought mortician ball.
I was going to, no. Well, if you own a funeral home, yeah. But like, if you're just a worker, I mean, even an experienced 20-year person will only make like 70K.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so you found that there's no money in being a mortuary. You're sad, and where do you go next?
Then I became a truck driver.
Wait, okay, alright.
Yep.
Okay, so, I mean, that's obviously the logical next course.
I was breaking up with that bad relationship, and I was like, kind of a screw it moment.
Alright.
Yeah.
So you could drive trucks. Like big old. So you had your CDL?
Hey, yep. I drove across the country and lived in the truck for like a year and a half. I was training students. I was making like $2-3 grand a week.
Oh, so
before taxes. Yeah.
That's pretty good, right?
It was so bad on my mental and physical health. Oh, truck stop food, sleeping on a truck. I had long hair, so I was wearing a baseball hat.
Oh, I need to see pictures. You have pictures of this long hair?
Yeah.
I need to write that down.
Yeah, write that down.
I need to see these pictures.
So yeah, I took a sidebar from the industry, and then after that, I had small gigs here and there, and then pandemic happened.
Yep.
And then after pandemic, I picked up a gig here, and I was, just, I don't know, 32 years old. But my later 20s, it seems like the past 5 years, I've been just I don't know, all over the place, you know. Life is crazy, you know.
Pause the game. When I met you, you told me you were 33. How did you become 32?
I did not tell you that.
You did tell me you were 33.
No, when you met me, that was last year.
Nah, that was like
30.
2 years ago.
Well, no, so when we opened stuff, yeah, that was
2 years ago.
well, a year and a half. Yeah, but a year and a half ago, I would have been 30. I turned 32 just a month ago. Well, this past April, I turned 32.
Well, happy belated birthday.
Hey,
but I feel like you told me you were 33.
Nope.
So, I just made it up.
Yeah.
So, you're truck driving. After you're driving this truck, how do you come back to bartending?
Yeah, past pandemic, and I made the money I made, and I experienced what I experienced. You know, it was, even though I was making money, it was also a great experience. It was a kind of a fuck it moment, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's all it really was.
Right.
So then I come back, relocate back to Columbus, and then then it was like, all right, let's get back into the bars. So I went to the bars, and then pandemic happened.
Yeah.
So then after pandemic, I got a gig at a Bubbly Bartender. That's where I was, and I was there for about a half of a year, 7 months, until Serving Turtle. Then I went to Serving Turtle.
I remember that.
And
That's where we're at, yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And and then I was doing contributing.
To come over here.
And I got a better opportunity to come here.
That's fair.
You know, where it has been very beneficial because again, this is not just a career or a job. This is a career. You know, this is what I want to do for a living. I realized that at some point, like this is what I'm good at. This is what I like to do.
Okay.
So then, throughout my entire life, my phone tab is just like 80 different tabs, just alcohol-related stuff.
Okay. So you just.
I'll just lay in bed and be like, what is rum agriculture?
Oh, yeah.
You know, whatever random thing you can think of.
Yeah, I do the same
when
thing too.
was Johnny Walker made?
Yeah. So you like spirits is your thing. Like you generally. How did you? Now we talked about those bars that you're in, which were more like shots and slinging shots and mixers. How did you go from slinging shots and mixers to being more of a craft cocktail?
I think just like it's more, if you think about it like this, there's a lot of people in this industry that are just strictly what we call apartment or home bartenders.
Okay.
And there's a lot of, apartment home bartenders that have successful bartending careers. So it was like, even though I was doing these other careers, bartending never stopped. The fascination with alcohol, even when I was on the truck and I would find the time to go to a nice restaurant, I was still fascinated and asking about cocktails with whoever was bartending, whether I was in Iowa or whether I was in Florida, wherever I was. The fascination never stopped.
Right.
So then it was like, once I got on the truck, which I needed to, I was so physically and mentally unhealthy, I was like, all right, I need to get a normal, settle down more situation. So yeah, and Bubbly Bartender was kind of nice because it was helping me, because this is like a couple of years behind a bar. Right. So it was nice to get back into the groove. But it's also, that place is more, it's like a, Mexican canteen. It's like margaritas and tacos.
Yes.
But it was good to get back to the motion of bartending, which that's what home bartenders and apartment bartenders don't have, is that, moving around, multitasking, talking to guests situation.
And you're really good with guests. Are you just a natural people person, or is that something you had to train? You like people?
Yeah, I've always been, I get along with everybody. You follow the 16 types personality, that stuff? You know what that?
Yeah, like FNP, what is it?
I'm an ENTJ.
So what is that?
So, I bring it up for this reason, because they're the most, they get along with everybody. My personality type, I get along with literally every other 16 personality types.
So you just throw you out there, you know how to make it work.
Yeah.
Is this something
you're shy, or if you're a jock, or if you're whatever, I don't know. I get along.
You can fit everything. And he has a nice voice, so you're out here singing to people as well, right? All right.
I got some vocals. I'll be singing behind the bar and shit. You heard me.
I've heard you. I've heard you drop some things. So your palate, one of the things that I really appreciate about you is when you make cocktails, you kind of just have this natural palate of where you know what to put together, what's mixing. How did you get a palate like that? Was it natural? Did you have to work at it? Like what's going on there?
So I think it's not as much the palate. What it is, and I like to explain when I've trained bartenders, one of the things I believe in is you have to know your classics first.
Okay.
So when I create cocktails, like just before this we had a couple, and when I'm creating cocktails, it's not 100% out of nowhere, out of the sky. I'm not pulling random things out of nowhere. there's this algorithm of knowing your classics because that helps you know what works and what doesn't, and it's time tested. You know these classics. If you know all these hundreds of cocktails, you have an idea of an algorithm for whatever direction you want in creating a new cocktail, right? So let's take, like, I was talking to another bartender the other day. He's like, yeah, I can make a cocktail. I want to do lavender. Well, I was like, the first step I take in my head is what direction do I want to take that cocktail in terms of algorithms? So like, do I want to take it very booze forward like an old fashioned?
Yeah.
Do I want to maybe incorporate something with sweet vermouth or Amaro, make it more like a Manhattan? And then, or a Negroni, do I want that bitter profile? So I figure out the direction first, okay? And then I incorporate what I want to change it.
Right.
So if it was, let's say it's an old fashioned, instead of using just regular simple syrup, I'll do maybe the lavender simple syrup. And then pairing, you gotta know your whiskeys for something that boozy. And it's just all that, so.
Okay.
Yeah, or like we have a cocktail here called the Tequila Martinez, for example.
So before we go further, where's here?
Oh, we're at Hubbard Bar and Grill. Hubbard Bar and Grill. Yes.
Okay, for Hubbard Bar and Grill, you have what's the name of the cocktail?
This is a Tequila Martinez. That's just what it's called. So this is what I sound like at the bar. I'm gonna nerd now.
Yes, please, nerd out, babe.
So the Martinez is a great cocktail and a classic cocktail that honestly almost predates the old-fashioned Manhattan and all that. It's almost a Godfather cocktail. It's that old. Named the Martinez because there's a town in California called Martinez, and that's where it was created. This is a cocktail incorporating gin, sweet vermouth, orange bitters, and Jardin Maraschino liqueur. Here, the riff we have here is instead of using gin, we have tequila, and then we barrel age tequila and sweet vermouth.
Oh wait, what do you mean by barrel age?
How it sounds. We put it in a barrel, let the oak soak into the tequila.
Yeah. Oh shit. Okay.
Yep. And then after that, the aging process for 4 or 5 days, we'll put in Jardin Maraschino liqueur and orange bitters, and then we have a tequila Martinez concept. Now I did not create this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is one that we've had for about a year now.
Okay.
It was right before I got here. But that's an example of a cocktail where you take a concept and you put your spin on it. Amongst bartenders, we call it, a riff on a cocktail.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
But I still think it's important if you're trying to create something completely different, knowing your classic cocktails helps you understand how cocktails work in the first place. You know what I mean? It's like anything else in life. If you're going to be the best basketball player in the world, you should know playbooks and movements and positions and everything, right? So,
that's fair. Okay.
Or even the history of basketball players before you, their stats. You understand, Shaquille O'Neal had these stats, and that helps me understand what all that.
So you're pretty versed on liquor and spirits, so you can kind of pick up anything and just talk to it. Okay. So before we get into that, because I know you got some cocktails for us, and I am very excited to try that. You said you're here at Hubbard Grill.
Yes.
And someone told me that before, when you came along, that maybe the menu wasn't up to par. And you came in and you curated a lot of the cocktails.
Yes.
Tell me about you walking into a new environment and kind of having to build from scratch.
So I will preface and say it wasn't the part of the plan, it just ended up happening because a transition happened when I joined, not too long after I joined. So then it was also, I had the experience and the knowledge, and so it was kind of like I stepped into this more leadership position to curate. And it was crunch time because this menu here at Hubbard, we change our cocktail and food menu at least like twice a year.
Okay.
So spring, summertime, and then fall, winter time. So during this, we had to come up with a new fall, wintry cocktail menu.
All right.
And just a lot of other changes happened too, with not just the bar program and just the restaurant in general. New transition of power of sorts, new general manager, and so what was the question again about the cocktail menu? So the cocktail menu, so it was like it was weird because I had so much time, but what helped me again is having a knowledge of how cocktails work in the first place. So I was more quickly capable of making cocktails for a menu.
Okay.
Also understanding that cocktail menu is very difficult and a different thing because there's different demographics. When people come into the bar, to a restaurant, there's different demographics.
Yep.
a cocktail menu needs to hit most of any demographic. That's why it's a little bit more difficult, you know? Like, not everybody likes old fashions, and not everybody likes Cosmos.
Yeah.
But curating something that you can fit every demographic is what makes a cocktail menu difficult, but that's the objective. You know what I mean?
Right.
So also theme too. It's themed, you got the fall, winter. So we had like an apple in my eye, for example. That's the name of the cocktail. It was incorporated apple juice, cachaça. Cachaça's a fun one, and they incorporated lemon juice and egg white. It was a very like yummy apple fall cocktail.
What is cachaça for those who don't know?
All right, nerd time.
Okay.
So cachaça is a rum alcohol. So this is what happened. Go back in history. Rum is made of molasses, sugar, but what makes cachaça and other rum alcohols different is they're made of sugarcane juice.
Yes.
They're all being developed. They're both being developed at the same time, but rum became super popular. But cachaça specifically is still very popular in Brazil, and in a cocktail called a caipirinha. Yeah. So caipirinha is a fun one. Incorporating a muddled lime sugar, and then cachaça and ice. It's simple, but you need to muddle the lime because you want that bitter profile from the lime oil and peel. So, cachaça is also very different than rum too. Let's make that very clear. It's not sweet like rum. Very earthy. It's almost peaty. It's not what you would expect, and it's not really incredibly palatable to most to drink by itself.
Right.
Like gin too. Like not too many people just drinking gin straight, right?
Just me.
Me too.
You like drinking gin?
Yeah.
What's your gin drink?
I don't know. So there's what's it? Monkey 46. You remember that?
No, I haven't had that.
See, I like the botanicals. So.
Me too.
Yeah.
I like Nolet.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I enjoy Nolet very much too.
Is it pronounced Nolet?
I think so. Yeah.
That's my real way.
That's one thing I'm terrible at pronouncing things too.
I know. I don't know if it's like French or if I call it Nolet or Nolet or something like that. So you're in here, you're curing cocktails, and you are also a bar trainer. You train like your other bartenders?
I've trained some bartenders, yeah.
So like, how does that feel to be a trainer? Like,
it's actually surprisingly rewarding most of the time because most of the time the person that you're training is excited, right?
Okay.
Whether they're new behind the bar or new to this kind of a more professional bar, not professional, but advanced bar environment, you know, where cocktails are being flung here left and right, and stirring and shaking is important, and knowing your cocktails, it's exciting for them, and it's exciting for me to train somebody in this world that I'm in, you know what I mean? And teach them all the things that they're probably unaware of, or were doing wrong at whatever bar they were at before,
right.
Or again, if they've never been behind a bar, they're very eager to learn. I'm very eager to teach.
And so you've been here for 5-6 years. So you're kind of like you're young. You're a baby in comparison to other bartenders.
Yeah.
Do you ever run into people who've been in the industry longer and they kind of want to flex on you a little bit? How do you navigate those situations?
Well, I think what's cool about the bartending community, most bartenders are very cool. We have a cool vibe. Unlike other, folks in other communities, bartenders are the cool people that keep their ears to the ground, they know what's going on.
Yeah.
The dudes and the women with the tattoos and the nose rings. We're part fashionistas, part psychologists, part dishwashers. We work hard. It's bartending is multifaceted. So for me to run into a person that has 10, 15, 20 years experience, it doesn't become an issue ever because it's quick to notice when someone knows what they're talking about too.
Right.
Because you can also have 10 years of experience but have been at Applebee's for those 10 years.
That's true.
Right?
That's true, right?
Or you could also be, like we mentioned, apartment and home bartenders who've never been behind a bar, but like me, was fascinated with cocktails. So at home, they have all these things, and they know their cocktails too. They just never executed. But you can tell. Talking to another bartender, it doesn't take long for you to be able to tell what kind of experience and knowledge they have. And then when I do find out, I'm like, oh, we're best friends now. Yeah.
Okay. So, you're training people here at Hubbard Grille. All right. And you said you are the best bartender that's ever survived
in the world.
So that's fair. Okay. So what was an important bartending lesson for you? Something that you just really keep to your heart to the
Well, you know what? I think this is what actually I tell people when I train them. The 3 things that make a great bartender.
All right, let's go.
Ready?
Yep.
Knowledge,
Okay.
speed,
Yep.
personality.
Oh.
You need those 3. You need it. Or at least to the minimum, if you have a bar staff, you need that amongst the bar staff too. At least one person with personality to get the culture and the environment friendly and fun. And then one personality, one person with speed to knock the service well, right? But I think those are 3 important things that I remind myself. So, like, you know, just like any job, sometimes you come in, you're dragging ass.
Yeah.
Sometimes I remind, okay, put a smile on. Let's get back, drink a Red Bull, whatever I do to tell myself, and engage with guests, because that's why I have so many regulars and people that come back and ask me for it, because I bring the energy to the environment too, not just the knowledge, you know, and but the energy is important.
So one more question.
But you have great energy too. That's what I miss about you, girl. Yeah, you always have a great energy.
It's all right. You know, I've seen better. So what is one thing as a more mature bartender now, in your 5 or 6 years of experience, what is something that you wish you would have known when you started? Besides everything, but something like for me, when I was bartending, when I first started, I started in a bar, like in a hood bar, right? For me, I wish I would have known just better knowledge about bar stuff. I didn't know a lot of stuff. I just got thrown in there, and they was like, "Hey, you got booty and boobs coming in here." I'm like, "Alright," you know. And that's how I became a bartender. But what is something that you're kind of like, I wish I would have did this differently when I first started?
No, that's a good one. I don't know.
Thank you. I'm good at these things.
Man, that's like I have talked to a young bartender V.
Yeah.
What I tell? Well, again, I was in a hood bar too, so it's like,
Were there black people there?
Puerto Rican. It's a Puerto Rican hood. I mean,
that's not black people. Yeah. Sounds good.
I don't know. It's a hard one.
So you were just cold off rip. Like there was nothing you needed to do differently.
There's always something like, you know, you're always progressively getting better all the time, especially with something you're passionate about.
Right.
I'm always learning new things.
There's nothing you would have told younger me, like I know had I started bartending in my 20s, I would have been a whore. So, because you know, guys are out here just shooting games. So if I started, I would have been like, "Hey, girl, don't do that," right? But the younger V, you just had it together.
No, I mean, of course, like the younger me doesn't know what I know now. So of course I wish younger me would have known what I know now, but there's nothing specific I can pinpoint. Like, younger me probably didn't know too much about, I don't know, random things like
stuff you
what
wouldn't know.
Mole bitters are, you know. Or,
you said mole bitters? Mole bitters?
Yeah.
What are mole bitters?
Mole bitters is another type of bitter. It brings like vanilla and cinnamon to the table.
So I know mole is Hispanic, Latino. Is that?
I think so, yeah. So it's like another great bitters, like tiki bitters.
What's your favorite spirit? What's your spirit to drink?
Like a general, like gin, vodka, like that type of thing.
Yeah. Is that like your go? Like if it's like, man, you have to pick Scotch.
Yeah. Like if I had one, you know, my last drink before I died,
Scotch.
it would be a Macallan 12.
Really?
Yeah. Or anything older, actually. But anything Macallan is my favorite Scotch brand. Highland Scotches, I'll bring like, you know, vanilla and just more palatable, like sweet flavors than other Scotches. But yeah.
I'm a bourbon steward and I cannot do Scotch. It tastes like oil to me.
It's an acquired taste. Also, you probably haven't had a good one. I don't know what you got.
Okay.
Yeah, have you had Macallan?
I don't think I have. I think I've had Glenmorangie.
Glenmorangie, yeah.
Morangi. I've had Dewar's. I've had Lefroy,
yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's all of my Scotch thing, and I haven't had a Rusty Nail.
Okay.
So I don't know, man. You're not selling me on the Scotch right now. I'll fuck with some gin.
I can always tell you when you taste it. The Macallan 12 is my favorite. It is. If you like bourbon, I think you're gonna enjoy it.
If you got Macallan, I will buy a shot.
Yeah, we'll get popping.
Yes, Sunday pop. Now you know we're getting more time. Thank you so much. So now I want to see you. Everybody want to see you behind this bar.
Okay.
Can we get you behind the bar to do something? All right. Let's go through. What are you making today?
Okay, so this is actually a cocktail that I was a serving turtle at had celebratory with champagne. This is a cocktail that wasn't on the menu, but what I called on my secret menu. Just for me.
V's never made this for me on the secret menu.
Anyways, so this was also, because it incorporates a Japanese whiskey called Misschampagneb right here. So I had to sell it for $21 because this is a kind of relatively expensive whiskey. Yeah. And now, coming here and developing a new cocktail menu, I wanted to bring this back. And now we don't sell it for $21, we sell it for $17 here. But I also like to say a lot too is, for me to sell a $21 cocktail says something about me and this cocktail. So this is a cocktail I'm very proud of. It's on our menu here. You can get it here at Hubbard. So we're incorporating the coffee grain whiskey, which is a Japanese whiskey. It brings like more dark notes, like nutty. There's not as like smoky or lingering as like maybe some other like whiskeys and bourbons. It's very palatable. It's very delicious. Then we have Amaro Averna. So Amaro Averna is an Italian liqueur. It brings star anise, it brings juniper, it brings some lemon peel, some vanilla, some cinnamon to the table. So we have a dark pairing going on, and this is actually kind of conceptually another kind of black Manhattan. So the Manhattan is actually one of my least favorite cocktails. In all the world of cocktails we could talk about, I actually don't like Manhattan. It doesn't work for me. But if you switch out the sweet vermouth and use an Amaro, then you have what we call a black Manhattan. So yeah, we're going to start off. This is going to have 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. We're going to do an ounce of Amaro Averna. And then we're going to do 2 ounces of Misschampagneb grain whiskey.
Do you always have to measure, or can you rely off accounts?
I can speed pour too. When we get busy, there's speed. What we call in the bartending is speed pouring. So it's pouring 2 ounces without measuring it, but because these speed pours are designed to give out a specific amount of liquor at a time at a certain time. So this speed. I can definitely speed pour too.
All right, so
now we're going to put ice.
Oh.
A little too much ice.
That's all right. So how long do you speed for? Or do you spin? Or stir? I don't know. What?
It's a funny number I came up with this cocktail. Because it's kind of I named it the Dark Knight. It's like Batman. So I came up with the number 64, kind of like Nintendo.
Wow.
But you don't have to pour it or stir it for that much.
Okay. This looks so delicious. It's a coupe glass. Wow. Oh.
And then this is a good Jardim Maraschino cherry.
Okay.
So I wanted to incorporate a Japanese whiskey, so it started there.
Okay.
Then it was like we talked about earlier, finding direction in terms of conception. So I wanted a boozy cocktail, so I thought of the Black Manhattan. And after started from there, then it became pairing this whiskey with something else, and I wanted to go Black Manhattan, so I found an Amaro. So more nerding stuff. Amaro is actually the French word or Italian word for bitter. The plural for bitter is with the Amari. So any Amaro is an Italian bitter. And they're all different, like wine. Like each Amaro is very different.
Can you describe the Amaro flavor? Like, is it nutty? Is it
generally, because it's bitter? Generally, you have a star anise thing going on. Like,
yeah.
But again, they're all different. Like, this one's very dark. There's other Amaros that can be very light and bright. Others that bring more like citrus, orange, honey to the table. Like Amaro Nino, for example. So it just depends. Here, this is the dark one.
Oh shit! All right. Let's go. I would drink this. This is like the cocktail I would drink if I was on if I was out with like VPs or something, and I didn't want to do an Amaro sour because I'm an adult and
like it's boozy. It's a Manhattan, but it's actually like vanilla. It's like more like dark vanilla, cinnamon.
I feel the cinnamon.
Very subtle. It's still booze. It's still whiskey, but
this is nice and it's smooth. It's not so jarring when you taste it. Is that the bitters that I'm picking up from it? A little bitter notes on the marrow.
Yeah, rounding it out.
That's really good. Oh my gosh, V, I am in love with this cocktail.
Hey. Yeah, I've been selling it for, I guess, technically a little over a year now, so.
Really?
Maybe.
Yeah. So did you make this from scratch or you did really good?
Yeah.
You guys, you have to get this. V, tell us, if people want to check out your cocktails, they want to know more about you, where can they find you? How can they follow you? What can we do to support you?
I have a bartending Instagram page.
Okay.
The Last Airtender.
How did you come up with that name?
Well, there's another cocktail I created a while back at Slovicello, actually, a more Japanese concept. It was called The Last Airbender. And somebody at the bar was like, does that make you the last airbender? So I was like, oh. And I loved it, so I decided to use that as my Instagram username. So.
Somebody said, hey, boo.
Hi, what's up?
So where can we come and see you bartend? We want to come and support you because we love your cocktails. Where should we come?
Hubbard Bar and Grille. I'm here in the Short North.
And you're here when?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm here a lot. We're closed on Mondays.
Yeah. What about social media? Last Airtender, right?
Yep, The Last Airtender on Instagram. The Last Airtender.
Oh, man. All right. So 5 years from now, where do you see yourself?
Hopefully doing something bigger and badder. I mean, I've also participated and attempted some bartending competitions and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the last bartending competition have you been in?
The most recent one was the Bombay Sapphire Most Imaginative. I did a submission for it, but they only picked 40 people out of the nation.
That's
which is not surprising, but yeah, it's a tough one to get into. But Columbus has 2 finalists. Yeah, Columbus here has had 2 finalists participate. So
I get a lot of competitions. I will send them your way. I was about to apply for one. I got like this. It's called the Marry Me. So it was like a whiskey with a foam with it. Yeah. But they canceled the cocktail competition. I know. So I was like, fudge.
Yeah.
But I will send them your way because I want to see you do big things. So thank you so much, V. Go ahead, give us a bow. Thank you. Woo! Come see him on Hubbard Grille Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. He'll make you the best cocktail. Anything else you want to share with new and upcoming bartenders? What would you share with people who want to be like you?
Keep the passion alive. It starts there. It's passion. It's not just a job. This is like true platform for creativity and expression and something that's enjoyable. But it's challenging. Bartending is not easy. It's challenging. It's continual improvement, continual learning. I'm always learning. Everyone's always learning. But keep that up.
Thank you. Thank you so much, V.
You're welcome.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget, check out V all those days at the Hubbard Grille located on in the Short North on High Street. Thank you for watching the Steady Mixing. I'm Misschampagneb. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Don't forget to follow me on YouTube. If you missed this live, we will have this replaying on YouTube. This cocktail is amazing. You cannot have any because it's all mine. Thank you for joining me, guys. Be safe, be sound, be loved. Bye. Here we go.
All right. It's going to be like with music and stuff?
Yeah.
It's a fun one. It's called a bijou.
Oh. Where did you keep your vermouth?
In the fridge, of course.
Okay. Yeah, you passed that one.
That's another thing. Old bar program, they weren't doing that.
I know, they just leave it out, don't they?
It's like you can get away with that if you use enough vermouth in a restaurant.
Yeah, but they usually don't.
If you use like a bottle a week, you can get away with not refrigerating it.
Oh my God. Now, what is this?
This is a bijou. So, of the 3 cocktails, this one's not mine. It's a classic.
Okay.
Debatably, Made by historians haven't figured if it was started in Detroit or Chicago. But yeah, classic cocktail that incorporates gin, green chartreuse, sweet vermouth, and orange bitters. Bijou is a French word for jewel, so that's what that means. Also, cool kids like me, I split the sweet vermouth half and half, so you have more of a layering effect. So we have Antica formula and in this case Gallo. But yeah, 3/4 ounces of green chartreuse, 1.5 ounces of gin, a total of 1 ounce of sweet vermouth and 2 dashes of orange bitters. One of my favorite cocktails, Orange Express. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.